live view of the American Airlines Arena. Welcome to this Thursday night edition of the NBA alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. This is Kevin Harlan on 2K Sports. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First for the Spurs, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11 pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the 4. And for Miami, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11 star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4 spot. Now, here's Green. 6 on the shot clock. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Here's Parker. Chris Bosh with the rebound.
Seems like every year, guys, you look at Tony Parker and he's found something else to add to his game. He's always improving.
LeBron passes to Chalmers. Looks for Bosh, gets it to him, and the shot is good. Bosh has got the opening bucket of the night here for the Heat.
And he's on the board early.
The first to strike there. Nice hoop.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
With the amount of titles and rings the Spurs have racked up in their careers, Coach admitted it could be a little intimidating playing against them. He said Duncan is an instant Hall of Fame guy, and that can scare teams. We have to be fearless and play just like they are any other team, any other extremely talented team. Easier said than done, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Wade after the basket by San Antonio. Now the dish to Haslam. Takes the 3, and LeBron gets it to go with the assist by Haslam. And last season for Tony Parker, arguably his best ever. 20 points a game, almost 8 assists, 52% Steve from the field, and there was even talk at midseason about maybe MVP consideration.
Well, his ability to score inside around the rim is amazing, but he's also become a master of knocking down the jump shot from that 15 to 18-foot range. But really, this team has been built now around Parker. Their offensive strategy completely tailored to suit his talents.
Wade can't hit.
Well, those chances are almost always 2 points for him. I guess the defense did what it had to do to bother him.
The open shot, Green, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
Well, there's plenty to like about him as a player, but, you know, one thing that really stands out is the quick trigger. He can catch the ball in space, defenders all over him, but, you know, in an instant, lets that shot go, and he is accurate.
And, you know, this is the other thing about him. He's very sophisticated as a one-on-one defender. No matter who he's matched up with, he consistently takes away their #1 strength.
Great-looking bounce pass to set up that play. And what an amazing run it was for the Spurs last year in the postseason. You know, swept the Lakers, survived Golden State, and then dismantled Memphis on their way to the NBA Finals, and then, of course, we're seconds away from another championship banner.
Leonard kicks to Duncan. Feeds to Green. Now the pass to Splitter. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Splitter's got his first points of the game.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
Well, getting back to the Spurs, they look better and better as they went deeper into the playoffs, Clark. Heat were thought to be the heavy favorites at the start of the NBA postseason. But when they met in the finals, thoughts on who would win, I think, were pretty much split.
Yeah, and eventually, you know, this was one heck of a series because the Spurs not only had experience and talent, but they had multiple options offensively and did such a terrific job sharing the ball. They took the Miami Heat to the limit, but at the end of the day, it came down to LeBron James and Dwayne Wade rising to the challenge.
Here's Chalmers after the made shot from Splitter, and the basket by Chalmers.
Right there, we saw Bosh opened up space for the shooter. Well done.
Back to Parker. Lots of room. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Here's Wade. Kicks to LeBron. With the lead pass. Haslam, that's good.
Well, I tell you what, Greg Popovich, a really impressive leader for the Spurs. He's able to keep all of his players locked into what's best for the team. Has a military background, played basketball and studied at the Air Force Academy before serving 5 years in the Air Force. And you know some of the leadership that he brings to his position was learned from his past experiences.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Diaw comes in for Tim Duncan. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Bellinelli in for Daniel Green. 1:36 left to play in the first. And Clark, you mentioned Pop's time at the Air Force Academy. That's where he got his start in the coaching ranks.
Yeah, 6 years as an assistant there. He was head coach at Pomona, an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors and the Spurs, and eventually moved into the front office in San Antonio. But wow, what an amazing run it's been for him. 17 years as the head coach of the Spurs.
And Miami has possession after the miss from Bellinelli. LeBron dishes to Anderson. Kicks it out to Allen. This one for three. Shot is off. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Parker outside. Manu Ginobili on the wing. Back to Parker. Passes it to Bellinelli. Dishes it to Parker. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Miami trailing. Allen right side. Finished off the break. Allen's got his first basket of the night.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Now here's Diaw. Launches it. He dishes it to Bellinelli. Ginobili outside. Goes back up. Count that one.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
That's going to open things up for them on the perimeter going forward, Clark.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Spurs lead by 1. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for San Antonio.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And they're also showing some muscle here in the first half, finding a lot of points in the paint area.
Here's LeBron.
Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and were viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare. Then the Pacers really took them deep all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thank you, Kevin. Tony Parker and teammate Boris Diaw have known each other since high school back in France. Boris says of Tony, quote, "He's a point guard who can do it all. He can be an organizer and make the team play. Other times he's going to be a scoring point guard. It's pretty rare to have both." And guys, Coach Popovich talked about how Parker's decision-making has matured as far as reading when to pass and when to score. He's found a great balance as the years have gone on, guys.
He can do it all, Doris. Pass, shoot, a special talent. And for the Heat, the Pacers were their first real test, it seemed, and they had to survive a win or go home against him. It almost seemed, Clark, to take away any momentum they might have had when they went up against the Spurs in the finals.
You know, it's interesting. When I think of momentum in the playoffs, it doesn't carry over from game to game or series to series. I think each game, Kevin, is really an entity in and of itself. That said, Miami found a way, despite being pushed by the Pacers and being pushed by the Spurs, both to Game 7s. It came down to LeBron James's brilliance, but also the hot shooting of a complimentary role-playing winner, Shane Battier.
The Heat with the lead. Battier with a screen on Ginobili. Allen kicks to Cole. Pass to LeBron. Beyond the arc. Second chance shot, and that's 2 points on the layup. Anderson's got his first points in this one.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
Yeah, that's 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed on good looks right at the rim.
Now here's Ginobili. He's got 5. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession.
Talking about Chris Anderson, guys, the Birdman. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to fly last season, but he did latch on with a very good Miami Heat team who was in need of some help rebounding, which is his strength. He still can do that and block shots as well.
And the Spurs making a change here. Splitter's checked in for Matt Bonner. Duncan comes in for Boris Diaw. Kawhi Leonard's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Green in for Bellinelli. Now, here's Chalmers. Wade outside. Chalmers. Clock at 6. He kicks to Allen. The rebound by the Spurs. And the Birdman, a fan favorite from his days in Denver. The tattoos, his kinetic style of play, certainly drawing attention.
Well, he's an athletic presence inside at both ends of the floor. Defensively, he can slide his feet and block shots. And offensively, he's a guy who kind of hangs out on the weak side and finishes plays by catching and dunking.
Now here's Wade. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. Leonard against Wade. And there's the feed to Haslam. Pass to Allen. From deep three-point range. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Parker passes to Leonard. Back to Parker. Splitter. He feeds it to Parker. Outside, Green. Back to Parker. Shot clock at 6. Shot to end this cold run. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. The Heat leading by 3.
You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team as they've won a couple of championships now.
Now here's Allen. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And so it's San Antonio with it. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they find the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy, and that's when they're going to come up big for them.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year. You know, Battier coming in here as a stretch 4. They've just found the right players and the right mix, and that's one of the big reasons why this team is back-to-back NBA champs.
Duncan dishes to Parker. Back to Duncan. It's stolen by Allen. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, gentlemen, head coach Eric Spoelstra of the Miami Heat finally getting the respect he deserves now with their multiple championships. But his players, not afraid to rib him a little. Dwayne Wade said Spoelstra's favorite word, focus. He said, here's what it sounds like to play for my coach. Come on, guys, we have to focus. Next game. Come on, guys, it's about focus. Game 82. Guys, it's about focus. Kevin, it's all about that consistent message, right?
A steady hand, Doris. The players seem to really appreciate him. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Well, if you're going to set a screen like that, you've got to make sure your feet are set.
I agree with you, and I thought maybe he was set that time, Steve. I thought it was a good screen on his part.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Well, I think this is one of the more amazing stats in sports when you think about it. No matter the season or the roster, the Spurs just seem to find ways to win 50 games. They've done it 14 straight seasons now, which is off the charts.
Miami with the ball. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points. Wade kicks to Chalmers. 1:31 left in the second quarter. 6 to shoot. Allen. Allen left side. The shot no good. Spurs trail by 3. Parker kicks to Green. No good, and they can't put an end to this drought. And Clark, as you said, the Spurs last season hitting 50 wins for the 14th consecutive season. By the way, that's an NBA record. Second closest were the Lakers with 12 straight, Steve, from 79 to 91.
Yeah, 58 wins last season for San Antonio. Greg Popovich calls it corporate knowledge, just the consistency that comes with the experience of the group. And they've been together so long, particularly that core, that I think it allows the Spurs to really kind of cruise at times during the regular season.
Duncan against Chalmers. 36 seconds left in the first half. Wade gets a screen from Haslam. Wade against Parker. Here's Bosch. No good. Some solid defense there from Thiago Splitter. Spurs trail by 5. Parker outside. Duncan up on top. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And the defense fouling there to prevent that layup, forcing 2 free throws here.
A nice job that time of attacking the paint and drawing the contact. They'll take that.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Well, he was an excellent foul shooter a season ago at about 82%.
And guys, the numbers don't lie. I mean, he was such a reliable presence at the free throw line all throughout last season.
And he sinks the second. 6 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Wade. Hits the target from 18 feet. And the Heat lead by 6.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Heat out front. They're up by 6. Well, folks, stay tuned for the halftime show with Damon Bruce for all the highlights from our first half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Thursday is always a great night for basketball on 2K Sports, so let's look back at first half action. Miami up on top against San Antonio. They've been having their way inside, a huge lead when it comes to points in the paint, making it very hard to defend against them. The first half a productive one for LeBron. After 2, he's got 6 points and some nice plays offensively, getting the assists going. And for the Spurs, they're still gutting it out. They've got to do a better job protecting the ball and valuing each possession. They've not done that. Their turnover numbers way too high through 2 quarters. A tough start for Tony Parker. It hasn't been pretty. He's only got 1 make from the field. And that's it for us here in the studio. Time to send it on back out to Kevin Harlan and the gang for the start of the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. And look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
Well, guys, what he gives this team is an edge. I mean, he gets into the arena. He just lights it up. And I thought that first half, he really had it rolling.
You know, he doesn't just give them an edge. He gives them a confidence and a swagger they wouldn't otherwise have. I mean, he's a special player to have around.
Fades away and sinks the tough shot. LeBron's got the first bucket of the third here for the Heat.
You know, it's not so much that the Heat score a lot of points. It's just that they score them in spurts. And it almost is a surprise when they end the possession without scoring or getting an easy shot. So good at spacing the floor and moving the ball.
Now here's Parker. Makes the lead pass. Here's Duncan. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Duncan's got his second bucket of the night.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
No question. Pound it into the painted area and continue to put pressure on that defense.
Here's Wade. He's against Green. From the post, here's Bosch. Green with the rebound. And Clark, just as you said, the Heat just so efficient offensively. Made about half their shots they took on the year and ended up with the best shooting percentage, Steve, in the NBA.
Well, it was all about floor spacing and LeBron, Kevin. They put shooters everywhere, but LeBron and Wade would attack, and they had really good flow and movement with the ball. I think over time now, given this team 3 years now, it's one of the best offenses in the league.
Spurs trail by 6. Parker outside. Got a piece of it. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Here's Chalmers. And it comes off the front of the rim.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
You know, people look at Mario Chalmers and say he might not be your typical point guard. He's not a big-time penetrator or playmaker, but he's a good fit for the Heat with his active defense and spot-up shooting from long range. I think it's a hand-in-glove fit, actually. Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
The Heat leading by 4. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Wade passes to Chalmers. Clock at 6. Haslam a screen on Leonard. Jumper off the screen, and that is good. 10 points for LeBron. And Chalmers, a 3-time All-American, NCAA champion his junior season at Kansas, received the Most Outstanding Player Award for that 2008 tournament.
Hit what was probably the biggest shot in Kansas history, the three-pointer that sent that game against Memphis into overtime that allowed the Jayhawks to go on and win that national championship.
A different look now for San Antonio. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Diaw comes in for Tim Duncan. And it's Ginobili in for Daniel Green. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Wasted no time on that one. Bellinelli's got his first bucket of the night. Miami leading by 4. Wade left side. Wade gets a screen from Battier. Wade against Ginobili. Wade can't hit.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
And Bellinelli kicks to Leonard. The dish now to Bonner. Back to Leonard. Feeds it to Bellinelli. They get the rebound. For Miami, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter. 50% from the field. Wade outside. The pass to Cole. Cole off the pick from James. Shot clock at 6. And the basket by Wade.
A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
Spurs trail by 6.
You know, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last season, guys, was that they were able to finish games strong. You think a group of vets might run out of gas, but the opposite was true with this group. They turned it up down the stretch and were one of the most productive teams in the league in terms of fourth quarter points.
Here's Bellinelli. Leonard. That 3 off the mark. .131 left here in the third quarter. Wade dishes to Anderson. LeBron outside. Excellent D that time from Bonner. Well, Clark, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last year in the fourth was because they had so many options when possessions, Steve, start getting critical and the game is tight.
Well, no question. You got Parker to create off the dribble. You can always throw it into the low post to Duncan. But on top of that, you've got a roster full of guys who understand how to play the game and know how to play each other. Just the experience that this group has gained together over the years, I think allows them to execute under pressure.
LeBron kicks to Anderson. Cole. He passes to Wade. Diaw's there. Battier outside. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Battier's got his first 3 points of the game. Spurs trail by 7. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
And Ginobili, here we go. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. The Spurs shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And he knocks down the first one. Both free throws good from Ginobili. The Heat leading by 5. Cole, the pass to Anderson. LeBron kicks it to Wade. He's covered by Ginobili. Tries from 7. And yes, sir, that one drops. And that's now 10 points for Dwayne Wade. 11 seconds left to play here in the 3rd. And Ginobili, here we go. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Ginobili's got 11 points. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Heat lead by 5. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the 4th quarter gets underway. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Heat.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
And I'll tell you, the other thing, guys, is the mid-range shot has been something that's really worked well for them tonight.
Ginobili draws the double. Passes it to Bellinelli. Here's Diaw. Some solid defensive work there from Anderson. The Heat with the lead. Here's Cole. Back to LeBron. Dishes it to Cole. Pass to Anderson. 6 on the shot clock. Good ball movement here by the Heat. The tray. The Heat rebound. LeBron is doubled. He dishes it to Cole. Anderson right side. Defended by Bonnie. And Anderson kicks to Cole. The feed to LeBron. Pass to Cole. Anderson, a screen on Ginobili. Here's Cole. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Cole's got the 4th quarter started here with a bucket for the Heat. Spurs trail by 7. San Antonio calls timeout.
Well, you know, you look at LeBron James, maybe more than any other player in NBA history, he's great in a way that transcends position. Size, skill, savvy, know-how. I mean, he's got it all.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He loved the work they were doing on the interior, saying, listen, they've got no answer for us inside, and we're not going to let them off the hook now. Keep pounding it down low.
We've played just over 1 minute here in the 4th quarter. Ginobili with the ball. And Allen picks him up defensively. They get it back. Tries to keep it alive. Diaw dishes to Leonard. He kicks it to Bellinelli. San Antonio again missing. And we can talk about LeBron's ability to really play any position on the floor. When you look back, has Steve there ever been a player you could say that about?
I'm not sure if you could say that about both ends of the floor. I mean, there's a lot of great defensive players who could guard everybody. You know, Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman. Offensively, Magic Johnson could play any position he wanted, but to be able to do so at both ends is what separates LeBron James.
And it's Duncan penetrating. He feeds it to Ginobili. sinks the triple. Ginobili's got 9 points here in the second half.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Now here's LeBron. There's the dish to Battier. Shot clock at 6. It's LeBron with the drive. Shot high post. San Antonio with the rebound. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Bellinelli passes to Ginobili. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Here's Cole. Allen, he's covered by Ginobili. Battier kicks to Allen. It's back to Battier. The rebound by the Spurs. Duncan's got 4 rebounds in this game. Leonard on the wing. Back to Ginobili. Feeds it to Bellinelli. There's the pass to Leonard. Kicks to Ginobili to tie it up. Offensive rebound. Diaw dishes to Duncan.
Oh, man, they needed a run to get back into this game, and they got it.
And a good one, defensively and offensively. It's been a terrific stretch for him.
Timeout called, the Heat.
Well, he's got to be disappointed with his team's play over the course of this run. And, thus the timeout. You got to talk things over, try to get back into the game.
Something has to change for them as they haven't looked good at all during this run. So a timeout is appropriate here.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Splitters checked in for Diaw. And Tony Parker subbed in for Bellinelli. Bosch heads the pick for Chalmers. Haslam. He passes to LeBron. He's covered by Leonard. Shoots a fader. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
I think in that situation, that was a nice try to create some space for himself with the fadeaway.
Parker passes to Splitter. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. It's been a tight one so far. Very close game.
Well, 7 lead changes, Kevin and Steve, in this one, and we could very well be seeing more.
Yeah, I believe it, because these two teams so well matched up. You look at the talent. I think we're in for a very, very competitive night.
Here's Bosch after the made shot from Splitter. Miami no good on that time either.
Well, he turned a high percentage shot into a low percentage shot by trying to go to the fadeaway.
And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on Udonis Haslem.
He loves running the pick and roll as the screener, and he's very good at it. Next time you see it, just watch how quickly he pops off that screen and cuts inside.
He's got a great move to the basket and can also finish through contact if he needs to.
Gets the first, and that will put them up by 2. So he drops them both. It's a 3-point game.
Well, he didn't waste those opportunities, and that's just what they needed with the game this close.
And the Heat call time here. They're trailing by 3. 1:30 left in the fourth quarter. .130 left here in the fourth quarter. Chalmers against Parker. Passes to LeBron. Back and down. Chalmers. They need this. And Ginobili pulls it down.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide open opportunities.
Dishes to Parker. And goaltending is going to be the call, so they get the basket there anyway.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Now you can tell what the crowd thinks about that call.
Yeah, they erupted as soon as the whistle blew.
Dwayne Wade, he's checked in for Ray Allen. Ginobili against Wade. Wade, right side. It's in! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. And the crowd roaring to life.
That was a huge shot, and they're just about dancing in the aisles now.
What an eruption in this building.
Duncan kicks to Parker. Leonard. Back to Parker. Parker left side. 5 on the clock, and stolen by LeBron. Plenty of space. Oh, that's blocked. And they go to the intentional foul. He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he gets them both, and it's a 5-point game.
2-possession game now, guys. Some very important free throws there.
Now a timeout called by Miami. They're down by 5. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
And obviously time is the big factor here, guys. They need to get points fast and then go for the steal, and if not, a quick foul.
Hard as it is, you just have to hope the guy you send to the line doesn't convert.
Pass to Bosch. Sinks it. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. Here are the Spurs with the ball. They're on a 16-4 run. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
Well, you do what you have to do to extend this game and try to get the ball back.
In this situation, clock management crucial.
So the first one drops, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
And here's Chalmers from the arc, kept alive. Near the 3-point line, it's Wade. Gets the bucket.
And Wade is really pouring it in right now.
And so it's San Antonio who's straight by with the win. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, Manu Ginobili.